phrase "life imitates art" has never been more relevant to me than it has been after this past weekend. The 50 Shades of Grey male lead is named Christian Grey, and he likes to tie people up, hold them, and fuck them. While the Christian Grey that plays for Notre Dame likes to tie up wide receivers, get holding calls that gives the Texas A&M a first and goal at the end of the game, and fuck the entire Notre Dame fan base. Welcome back to the Moonstamp Cast. I'm Brian, and I'm joined by the, man, is football great, to my, I hate everything, Jordan. Jordan, how are you?
Brian, how are you? No, not about me. How are you doing right now? Because
Christian
I
Grey
imagine you're in pain.
Is so talented, but he just gets destroyed by mental mistakes. Earlier in the game, he didn't. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a dump down pass. And no, it was a crossing route. I take it back. It's a crossing route, and a linebacker is chasing down the Texas A&M player, and Christian Grey is on the sideline where he runs by him. The linebacker starts tackling him, and and Christian Grey, I guess, assumes that, oh, the linebacker's got him, so I'm just going to throw a shoulder at him. That's all he does. And it hits the A&M receiver in the shoulder, and he takes it another 30 yards. And I'm just like, finish the fucking tackle. He last year he had flashes of brilliance, but it's just penalties. Penalties have killed him, and it happened again. It was third in 18, 30 seconds left or so in the fourth quarter. We're up 6 because our holder screwed up a hold, and that's a whole nother part of it. And then he got he wrapped himself up around the Texas A&M wide receiver. And it was holding call, defense, automatic first down. Then we get them to fourth down. And then, of course, they score on fourth down because, of course. And then they kick the extra point, and that was it. So Tyler Buckner and Christian Grey cost us the entire game, really. But because Tyler Buckner was the holder who has been in college for 9 years, not really that long, but it's a very long time he's been a holder. He never was the starter quarterback. He never got to be the star player that he was originally recruited to be. And so he's just been a holder. And his one job, he fucked. And then when he dropped the snap, he scrambled, and he had a pretty decently open tight end that shot out because it's a fire drill is what they call it. And he shot out. And he missed him. And I was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me, man.
He missed him by a good amount, too. It wasn't
close.
Throw.
It wasn't close.
It wasn't close at all, which maybe is why he's never been a starter.
Look, dude, I am a fat, chubby high school football player. I haven't played football in almost 10 years, 12 years, right?
You almost said 20 years, I thought.
Yeah, I almost said 20. That would have been bad. I'm 30 years old. If you gave me 5 shots at that, I think I could complete that pass twice. But he is a bona fide college athlete, and his time to shine was there to be the hero, and he fucked it. Oh, dude.
Well, also, you weren't a quarterback at all.
No, I was a 185-pound defensive end.
That was high school football. Listen. All that to say, he's a quarterback. He has played quarterback probably since elementary school, middle school, somewhere in that range. He should know how to make a throw to a tight end in that situation. Because it was not a hard, not to say it wasn't a hard throw. I'm saying as a guy who most of my football experience was either middle school or playing in the park with all the friends. That kind of route like that post route, not that hard. The hit, not that hard to hit. Now, again, it's pressure situation. He's having to scramble. He's not thinking straight. Maybe don't listen to me, but I'm just saying when I saw that throw, I was like, all right, buddy, you kind of got to make that throw. Because if he was the punter, I get it. If he's the punter. I'm yeah, I got you, brother.
I'm 30, you're 29. It's really easy for us to sit here and be like, it wasn't that hard of a throw.
Yeah.
At the same time, you were a Anyways, I was completely deflated. We're 0-2. We're somehow ranked number 24, which that brings me to my next point, which is horseshit. We shouldn't be ranked. If you're 0-2 team, you cannot be ranked. I don't care who you lost to. I do not care who you lost to. If you do not have a win on the season, you should not be ranked.
Brian, does this to make you the bad guys now? Because for years we've talked about how, A&M continues to get ranked. AUT continues to get ranked.
No. Hold on. I am a realistic Notre Dame fan. I know we have a bias that we are always thrust into like a top 15, top 10 position every single year at the beginning of the year. And it's because Notre Dame is name recognition. It is, oh my God, I'm going to hate myself for this. Notre Dame is the Cowboys of the NCAA. We have glory from years and years ago that we do not shut up about, and we get a massive media bias because of that. And it hurts me to say that. It really does. But, I mean, there's no reason. Sure, it was 2 close games against ranked opponents. No team should be 0-2 and ranked. It just doesn't feel good. And I have zero confidence in this team right now. I think we're going to beat Purdue, but I don't think it's going to be pretty. Marcus Freeman, I think, is one of the best young coaches, and I am not calling for his job in any way, shape, or form. I think he's going to be spectacular. I think he could go down as one of the greats of all time. But man, am I sick of the slow starts. Losing to Marshall 2 years ago, losing to, who was it?
NIU, North Illinois University.
Yeah, North Illinois University, and then going 0-2 with opportunities to win both of those games as well. Now, he's doing this with a redshirt freshman quarterback who is going to be good in the long run. He looked, even the jump from Miami to the A&M game, massive jumps. He started getting Jeremiah Love involved. Now, I know he's not an offensive play caller, so that does not fall on Freeman at all, but I'm not calling for anyone's job. I don't want anyone replaced. The only person I want replaced is the OC's play calling in the first half. Second half, massive improvement. First half, if I see one more fucking I hate wide receiver screens so much. And the Texans have a problem with this too. So you're not off the hook, assholes. But the wide receiver screen, OC will see it work once. And they're like, bread and butter time. We're going to do this play 6 to 7 times today. And net gain after the first, 8-yard gain will be like a total of 4 yards. I hate wide receiver screens.
At most. Like once they happen once, it seems like you had to deal with that this weekend. I had to deal with that for like 3 to 4 years with Dana Holgerson, calling just the worst ever. Like he'd call a screen or a halfback run up the middle or like a long ball, whatever he wanted, or like a sweep. I don't understand the prevalence in calling. Like, listen, I'm not an offensive mind in any capacity. I'm not an OC. I was not on the Washington football team's 2013 coaching staff. I don't know what I'm talking about. With that said, every time I see a coordinator or a coach, whichever one's calling the plays, who really loves screens, his offense sucks. Like, it is amazing how often you watch a guy who like probably has a great offensive mind and he just calls screen after screen after screen. And by like the third quarter, you're losing yards every play.
Is there a play that gets called more often with a lower success rate? Genuine question. I don't know. If we clip this and you have a comment and you can be like, I don't know. I can't think of it. The power right or something like that. I'm sure running plays, that's harder to judge, but I'm saying a pass play with a lower percent chance of success with a higher percent chance of being called. Hail Mary excluded because that's a fucking minimal bullshit. That literally it's called a Hail Mary. But the wide receiver screen has to be the least efficient play and it's called so often, it feels like nowadays.
And if I was about to say that, it feels like when I was a kid and like we were in high school, maybe I wasn't watching as closely, but it feels like since we've grown up, maybe this is, maybe losing the magic of football. it seems like every single team calls a disgusting amount of those plays. Now, there are obviously teams that don't do that. There are teams that don't call those plays. But there are a lot of teams, a lot of coaches. I don't know if the analytics department got involved and said, hey, like if you have a line that can kind of get over there, or you have a couple guys who can block, you'll get 2 to 3 yards of play. And that's all you need. And I worry that that is the way we are now judging coaching. It's like, well, the analytics department, and again, I am a stat nerd myself. I have some PFF pass blocking grades that I will talk about in a second or later when we talk about the Texans. I don't know if like someone in that department or like overall said, hey, this is how you should run your offense. And now it's infected everyone. It's like a virus where it also is the worst kind of football to watch. We talked about, who was it a couple weeks ago? Was it JJ McCarthy? I don't know who it was. We're talking about a guy being a gunslinger, or, some guy not being a gunslinger. I cannot remember who it is. People like gunslingers. They don't like guys who they don't like a Jalen Hurts who has maybe, I think, only 2 throws for more than 10 yards the entire season.
By the way, we'll get to that later when we get to the NFL. I am 100% on Jalen Hurts' side in all of this. If you bring me a Super Bowl, I don't give a shit.
No, that wasn't a dig at Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts is playing with the team that has been given to him. With that said, what I was saying was like everyone loves a gunslinger, but no one likes a drop off guy. No one likes a drop off guy. Drop off guys aren't fun. They make you be a fish. They don't like a dink and dunk guy. Everyone loves a coach who's aggressive. No one likes a coach who's conservative. And like, you got to find that. You got to find your centrist balance.
You know what it is? You know what it is? Brady and Belichick. Belichick, primarily a conservative coach. Brady, who was never afraid to just, all right, first 2 reads aren't there, dump it down. Everyone saw the success they had and went, that's the formula. That's the formula. That's what we have to do. Now, they didn't have the game plan, the defense, nor Brady's mentality to do the things that they did, which was like, 1-2 reads not there. Sure, the first read isn't perfect, but I know I'm confident enough to make this throw that it's not in a perfect situation. I'm going to make this throw, and he would take the shot. Now, what they're teaching, or what it feels like they're teaching, is it's not 100% guaranteed for that throw. I'm not going to make the risk. I'm going to dump it down. And they don't have the balance that Brady did, where it was like, I'm confident enough, and I can do this, and I believe I can do this, and I can hit this throw, so I'm going to take this chance. But if it's blow up 60%, I don't know the numbers at the top of my head. This is probably a weird argument. I don't even know if I'm getting my point across very well. But if it wasn't, if it was too risky, he'd be like, no, smart play. I'd get a couple yards, dump it down. But people feel like if it's like, it's not a guarantee, dump down right away.
If you're 13, comment on this. I'm kidding. But this in youth football, are they teaching? And I don't know if this is a correct thing, because this is kind of where we are, it feels like. And this is podcast is going off the rails already. We're 13 minutes in. We've talked about only like things we don't know about. Notre Dame and like things we don't know about. Are they teaching that it is better to be safe than to throw an interception, which leads to this kind of football where if you have the first 2, even if like the first read is good, but you're like, there's a couple guys there. Like, I don't know. Like, it's like the Caleb Williams flare throw against Detroit, where there were like 3 guys around him. By the way, that was just pure luck. That was not Caleb Williams doing that. That was pure luck. Are they saying like, even if there's a good read there, but it's not a great read, don't risk it because a turnover is way more costly than, on downs and you punt. Are they teaching that? Like, is that what's being taught now?
Analytic nerds.
I was going to say a coach who taught us in middle school, but like have the coaches of the world, who like the old guard who were like, you're going to fucking throw the ball down the field or we're going to run the ball up, like the Scadaboos of the world. I don't know why I thought of him, but I just thought of him. It's like a tough old guy. Are there like now younger coaches going, listen, if the couple reads aren't there, just dink it and dump it. And we'll get 1 or 2 yards and we'll go from there. But it's better than turning it over at like some, a good field position for the other team. Even if it's not good field position. Is it become the kind of meta that kids are learning turnovers are too costly, so just be careful and play? And that's how we get all these coaches who are running these screens and like all these safe plays. I don't know. Maybe how people talk about Steph Curry ruining the game of basketball, which I don't think he did, but that's Daryl Morey. Talk about him ruining the game of basketball with 3-pointers. did Belichick and Brady ruin the game of football by being so good at their respective things that everyone now thinks they can do that? I don't know, Brian.
Well, yes, I agree with you, but also that's why I think everyone loves Jameis Winston so much, because he's just like, fuck it. Let's ride, baby. 350 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 2 interceptions, one of them for a pick 6. Bread and butter.
The 30-30 season is still the greatest season of football I've ever seen.
Of all time. It's the most fun football of all time.
Yeah. If I were a Saints fan at that time, I would have killed him, but I'm not. So I can just sit back and be like, oh, Bucks, sorry.
He played for the Saints, but
he's played for so many teams. I get my stats confused sometimes. No, if I were like a Buck fan of the Bucks, I'd be like, dude, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. You're driving me fucking wild. But I'm a guy who doesn't care about what the Bucks do other than on Monday night. And I'm like, dude, do more, throw more, Jameis.
Listen, I could go on for another 5-10 minutes about the Notre Dame game, but that was the big parts. Defense has to figure it out. This will be my last couple of comments. We have had great defenses for the past 5 years, and finally we have we have the best offense we've had in the past 3 years. And it's a damn shame that we don't have that top 5 defense that we've had for the past 5 years. Because if we had this offense with this defense, I would be thinking national championship right now. But this defense is not there as it is, and the offense, I feel like we're gonna be in a lot of shootouts this year, and that's not good. That's not how Notre Dame has won games for the past half a decade, and that sucks. But
I'm going to say this. I have 2 points. One, talked about defense. I don't know who number 6 is on Notre Dame.
That's Christian Gray.
It's Christian Gray. Perfect.
That's Christian Gray.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Because I was going to say,
missed tackles, gets torched, penalties, the whole works.
I was going to say defensive holding is one of those egregious penalties you get every once in a while. You're like, dude, like, come on. 3 of them. But if in the last, I think it was 3rd and 10.
It was 3rd and 18.
3rd and 18 at the end of the game. No, it was at the end of the game. He got a defensive holding call as well. I don't think it was 3rd and 18. I think it was that 3rd and 10. And you hold a guy, dog, you can't do that. Or was it maybe 3rd and 18? You can't do that.
You're talking about at the very end of the game?
Yeah, it was 3rd and 18. Yeah, you can't. And then it gives them better field position. And then it leads to that 4th.
Automatic first down.
Yeah. I'm just saying that was egregious. And that kind of highlighted where the Notre Dame defense is after last year. Where it's like, dude, this is a simple mistake. Don't do it, and they just do it every time.
He fucked us in the national championship too. He's the one that we were coming back, and then they gave up the big play to oh god, I can never pronounce his name. He's now a wide receiver for the Buccaneers. Ibuke.
Oh yeah,
no prayer in pronouncing. I'm not even going to try it again. Sorry, man. You're an amazing player, but I can't. I'm not going to try it. He's the one that gave up that big play that basically sealed Notre Dame's fate after we had started mounting a comeback and we had a chance to win that game. Last note from me, then I'll let you finish. It was an egregious hold on the final play. They tackled one of our defensive linemen that was shooting through the gap. The guy grabbed his leg and tackled him. They didn't call it. I think it's horseshit that they didn't call it. At the same time, we put ourselves in that position between the missed extra point with the bobbled snap and the holds and all the penalties. We put ourselves in that point. You can't depend on the refs to hand you a game like that. It sucks. It was a hold. We shouldn't have never been in that situation. We deserve to be 0-2 right now, and that's the end of it.
Last comment I have on this game. I hate to say what I'm about to say, and it makes me angry as a confirmed Texas A&M hater. This is a playoff team right here.
They're really good.
They're really good. This is their first road win against a ranked opponent since 2014. 11 years. That's crazy. And I mean,
is it ranked opponent or top 10 ranked opponent?
I thought it was just ranked opponent.
I think it's
a road game. A road game. I'm pretty sure it's their first road game, or just ranked in general. They have not been good on the road at all. So, correct me if I'm wrong. Sorry if I'm wrong, but I hate to say it as a confirmed Texas A&M hater. but they are a good team, and they're gonna be in like, I mean,
They're gonna be fun. They're a fun
is there
team.
is there a world where they win the SEC? Maybe. I'm not willing to say that yet.
With Texas not looking very good, Arch Manning not being what it's promised, Georgia's still Georgia. That's the big.
Georgia's still Georgia, but they looked bad in that first quarter. That first quarter and was hard. I mean, and I'm not going to say like, Tennessee also played well in that first quarter, but they didn't look like themselves. That defense was not doing the Georgia defense. 21 points they gave up in the first quarter.
Never mind. Yeah. I completely forgot about this as well. LSU. So for me, my SEC standings right now. LSU. All right, LSU, Georgia, Texas A&M.
Okay.
Those would be my top 3.
I feel like I'm doing LSU, Texas A&M, and then Georgia. I didn't think Georgia looked. Here's the thing.
Tennessee's a good team, man.
It's a good team, and Aguilar's a good quarterback. So maybe I'm going off of last year's Tennessee a little bit. I do think. I'm going to say this. I think A&M would have handled Tennessee. I think there would have been no question of overtime. They would not have been put in the position where, there's that last second kick. I don't think that would have happened.
I don't think I disagree.
Yeah.
But there's some bias there. There's some bias there because we just lost to them. And now that's the worst thing. That's the worst thing. Even if we win or lost against them, I now have to cheer for Texas A&M to win out. I have to cheer for Miami to win out. That is my only prayer of getting a shot at the playoffs. They have to win out. They have to be top 10 teams. And then maybe I can sneak into the 11 or 12 spot if we win out. I don't think we're a playoff team this year. I don't think we're going to make it. We're going to lose Jeremiah Love, which sucks. But I think this lights a fire under Freeman's ass because this is the third year in a row where the start has just been god awful. It's always at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, quickly. Well, actually, I forgot my point I was going to make. But yeah, no, I don't know. I just really believe in A&M, and it's kind of concerning. I was going to say quickly. Speaking of Miami, is Carson Beck good? Is he really good?
God, I hope not. I don't like him.
He's kind of rocketed up in the Heisman standings. Now, again, I saw Carson Beck all last year. I remember what Carson Beck is. But that said, is Carson Beck actually a really good quarterback and he was at the wrong program? I don't know.
Wrong program? It was Georgia, baby.
Wrong program for him. How's that? Wrong program for him.
I guess.
Maybe he needed the sun. Maybe he needed the freedom of Miami to party and date that one twin.
But you have the biggest talents in the world coming in at Georgia every single year for the past 5 years, man.
No,
it's been a powerhouse.
Let's spin zone real quickly. He hates driving. Carson Beck hates driving.
Oh,
yeah.
The only drive he likes is on a football field.
There we go. Oh, that was the bars right there. There we go. Yeah, no, he hates driving. And so whenever his teammates are like, let's go out, he's like, I won't get in a car with you. They're like, you pussy. Get in a car with me. And now he's in Miami. It's like, let's walk everywhere. Let's Uber everywhere. I want to focus on my football field drives. And then he probably asked, maybe he asked the Uber driver, like, can you stay within the speed limit, please? You're going a little above. That's worrying to me. Spin zone. I don't know if this is true. I have no inside knowledge, but let's just say Carson Beck really hates speeding. That is his worst. He just hates it. It's his like one big moral standing. He's like, I think you're an evil person. It's like how I think slow drivers are bad people. He thinks fast drivers are bad people. So we'd have a great discussion on that, a Lincoln Douglas debate on that one. But that's my spin zone. But it is kind of weird to say after last season, we were like, fucking Carson Beck. No, now it's like, oh, there's a chance he wins the Heisman. Couple other notes from me. Georgia Tech, looking good. I think you called it last week. Like Georgia Tech, every once in a while, just surprises.
I have two good calls. I've got two good calls from last week. The other one was Vanderbilt.
Oh, Vandy, they feel real, by the way. Like they don't feel like Vanderbilt for the past years. And I'm just gonna say years because I don't. Maybe since they joined the SEC, it was like, hey, we have them here. So like when we release our GPA average for the school year, it's not like 1.9. Like they're gonna bump it up to like a 2.4 or something for us. They'll make us seem like we're not as dumb.
Passable.
They're passable. And it's not, at Vanderbilt, they're not taking like intro to sports science and that science being just watching YouTube clips of sports science. They're actually taking real classes. And so for years that was Vanderbilt. And now it's like the kind of Diego Pavia kind of fucking rocks. And also they kind of like they play defense hard. No, it's South Carolina. South Carolina hasn't looked good for they actually last year they looked better. They haven't looked good this season. Let's say that. Their defense is looking good. I'm interested to see their SEC play. But last year I was on the Diego Pavia train, and this year I'm kind of back on the Diego Pavia train. So I don't know, but I'm baking to Vanderbilt now, and Georgia Tech, who also I think had two big turnovers. They had a lot of turnovers against Clemson, which I will say one more thing. I watched Klubnik this week, not rolling to the right as much. So he fixed that. But I don't know. We talked about the SEC a lot.
The Big Ten. The Big Ten's going to start firing off here in the next couple of weeks. The Big 12 hasn't really started conference play very much.
Yeah,
the SEC started conference play a lot earlier than other. I almost said divisions, conferences. So that's why they and the ACC, man. So that's why we've been talking about the SEC so much.
Well, I mean, they have to start early so they can play their cupcake week, so they can go destroy some team that has 10 students and all of them are on the football team. So
speaking of SEC destroying 10 students, I'll tell you about a thing that I was very wrong about.
Okay,
and
tell me.
That was that Wisconsin and Alabama was going to be a good game.
Yeah, that guy called
Alabama
you out as well.
Kicked the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! I really thought Wisconsin had 6 to 7 wins, maybe 8 wins this year in them. No.
Not
they're
even close.
Bad.
They're a bad team.
They're a bad team.
You've spoken about Big 12 play, and I don't want to take all the time up talking about college football, but my Cougars, yeah.
Cougars.
That's
like
the other match.
That's how I say Cougars.
Cougars.
I say Cougars.
Cougars and Cougars. Yahoo Cougars. But I want to talk about them real quickly because they played Colorado this week, and they looked really good in the second half. And my issue is I've watched 3 games of play, and I still don't know if they're a good team. And it's kind of driving me a little insane because they looked like a good team. The problem is they played Stephen F. Austin, Rice, who they didn't look good for the first half during Rice, and then Colorado, who doesn't have a quarterback. They effectively don't have a quarterback, and their defense is not what they used to be. I am trying, I will say, I'm going to say this real quickly, Brian, and no one get mad at me real quickly because we're all still mad about Monday. The best quarterback in Houston is Connor Wegman. It's not CJ Stroud. It's Connor Wegman. Let me have this for a week. Let me have this for the week. Yeah. Okay, cool. But I'm watching him dude, I like, what was it? Connor. Oh, who's your running back? I can't think of the running back's name. I'm going to try to clip this, but I can't. It was Connor Johnson, Connor something. Maybe it's Connors, who's there. They have a running back who I think he played at Oklahoma. He's a killer. He's a killer. Their defense looks good. I mean, the defense looked good last year. The defense wasn't wasn't the problem, last year compared to the offense. But again, I'm watching this. Dean Connors, there we go. Dean Connors looks fantastic. I like that guy. But I'm annoyed because I've watched 3 games. I've seen 1 game in person for this team. And I do not know if they are a good team yet. So I will report back. Actually, they play Oregon State in 2 weeks. So then I still won't know because Oregon State's a bad team. So we'll see. And I think they play whoever they play in the first Big 12 or the second Big 12 game. I don't know who that is. I can't remember who it is, but I will figure that out at that point, maybe. With all that to say, I really love how they're playing. They're 3-0. They play Texas Tech. Tech.
Yeah, I was about to say they have Texas Tech upcoming, which is that's going to be a test.
Technically, both teams could be 4-0 going into that game. Which again, I feel like doesn't it's 4-0. Yeah. Tech probably will be 4-0 because Tech's a good team. I won't talk about how they Manchester City their way into this team or all the other sports they play. But yeah, that was just my. What?
Last game of the season for y'all was Baylor.
Yeah.
That's your rivalry weekend game?
So our rivalry, UH has a weird rivalry thing where our real rivals in the Big 12 are kind of Iowa. We're not a football school anymore. We stopped being that a couple of years ago whenever Dana Holgorsen introduced himself as the worst. He was an air raid coach who did not play like he was an air raid coach. The man was running for Republican nomination the entire time he was at UH. With how conservative, and he also, we won't talk about the other things. If you know Daniel Holgerson, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Are like we have like Memphis as a basketball rival and like kind of a football rival, more of a basketball rival, but they don't play them anymore because they're in the AAC. Our biggest like rival in terms of new Big 12 is Iowa State, but we like Iowa State. No one's mad at them. Like we're like, oh, chill, bro. I think, and Rice is probably like our biggest rival in terms of, oh, this is like the rivalry of the school, like Ruck Weiss and stuff like that. Problem is like Rice doesn't give a shit about athletics and hasn't like forever since they were good at baseball back in the noughties with Lance Berkman and co. So I don't think we have like a quote unquote rival. Like we have the Cougar Bowl, which is us versus BYU, but like BYU also is in Utah. So they have like Utah State to be mad at all the time. And then I'm trying to think, there's like, we don't like TCU. We don't like Texas Tech. We don't like Baylor, but it's not like there's a rivalry. It's like, they're just Texas schools. So like
the
we kind of
Texas
have
schools in the same conference.
Yeah. We kind of know, like, you know them, but like there's no shared history at this point anymore. Like there was back in the day, there was shared history, but there's no, like technically I think because of Ann Richards, we can blame Baylor as like our biggest rival. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about at all when it comes to, so long story short, the kind of wink thing, and it actually wasn't her fault. It was two other guys' fault, but they blamed her because she was governor. Whenever the Southwest Conference broke up and the Big 12 was being formed, I think it was the Big 8 at the time, UH was left out, and surprisingly, Baylor, who had not been a big school, a big football school, big athletic school, was included in the Big 8. And the reason why always was the story was that Ann Richards, the governor of Texas at the time, was a Baylor alum. But there were two other guys who were also Baylor alums who pushed for it more, but she was also pushed for it. So long story short, if you would talk to like an UH grad from those days, they'll be like, fuck Ann Richards. So nothing to do with politics. I mean, politics in some sense, but politics in terms of conference realignment. It's like
more important politics.
And more important politics, which is conference realignment, which is why fuck Disney. I don't know. Sorry.
ABC. I agree. I don't know why, but yeah. I agree.
ABC, ESPN. All that to say, Baylor's our last game, but it's like, who's the rival? No one really knows who the rival is. And I don't think Baylor really has a rival either. It's
TCU,
like,
I believe.
TCU, but like, it's not like you think of like Baylor. Who's Baylor's real rival? It's TCU. I think they're trying to create rivalries. There's like the space rivalry, which is us versus UCF.
I don't think they like Iowa State very much.
Okay.
Baylor, but I won't swear to it. I texted my contact, former player Blake.
Oh yeah, okay. I will say that UH loves UH and Iowa State love each other because we're both good at basketball, but like there's a one for both parties to succeed, if that makes sense. In terms of March Madness. Also, okay, you know what? I just mentioned it. We'll talk about this before we get to the NFL. It's a good transition. Did you see Tom Brady and is it Saudi Arabia is starting that flag football tournament? Okay. No, okay, whatever. He's playing. Who cares? Did you see when it is? Brian, and this is how you can tell either whoever scheduled this doesn't know about American sports, or two, they're just really thinking that they're going to get a lot of people to watch this because of Tom Brady. It's the first Saturday of March Madness.
Oh yeah. They're going to get no views. Also TCU is the answer.
Okay, TCU. Okay. Good. I didn't know. Honestly, you didn't really know that. I don't understand why, like, knowing the American sport, like, there are 4 days where, as an American who likes sports, it doesn't matter if you like basketball. It does not matter if you like college basketball. You, for 4 days, sit down and watch 14 hours of basketball a day, and you love it. And you're like, this is the best thing to ever happen.
This is the best thing ever.
It is. Like, I probably won't clip this. My boss that week, because he was like, hey, I'm going to work from home on Thursday and Friday. And I was like, I know what you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing. And he told me, he's like, yeah, 11 a.m. that TV's going on and it's not going off till late. And that same thing for me. Like once you watch the pregame that day, cause you're like, I'm so fucking hyped right now on that Thursday. And you do that all the way through the end of game Sunday. And then you'll do it the next week, but like, it's not, it's the Sweet 16. It's not as long. If they really think that a flag football tournament with an old Tom Brady and like some retired players and some guys who actually still play in the NFL is going to overshadow what I will say is the biggest weekend span in all of sports for Americans, at least. I don't think there's another
I would like to see the viewership difference between. I would like just to compare it. I think you're right. I agree with you, but I would just like to see, because there's got to be a different metric to measure it, because there's so many more games. But Super Wildcard Weekend for the NFL has to be up there, because it's 6 games all on cable, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. It's got to be. Those are probably the two biggest. I'd say March Madness is above, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see what the balance out there would be, like per game views and stuff like that. But that doesn't help either, because I don't know. Anyways, I agree. Biggest weekend in sports for an American is March Madness first weekend. That Thursday through Sunday is beautiful.
Yeah, and having that on Saturday just is like, do you guys want this to fail? Crazy. It's like no one said, like, let's just have it the weekend before. Even though that's
do it during the fucking Pro Bowl weekend. No one gives a shit about the Pro Bowl. Do it then.
Dude, they're playing like, I don't know, tic-tac-toe in the Pro Bowl these days. Have that on. It's the year, what's it, is it 2026 Olympics in LA? Yeah, right? Am I crazy? Yeah. So it's the year of the Olympics. Just have it that we be like, this is a precursor to the Olympics. Americans can learn about flag football.
Do it in the summer.
Yeah, do it in the summer.
There's nothing going on besides baseball. All you have to do is compete with local baseball.
Yeah. And I mean, Rob Manfred obviously doesn't want you to watch that anyway. So like,
Manfred will endorse it.
Yeah, he'll be like, go watch that instead, actually. Don't watch this game. I don't want you to watch the Brewers. I don't like them because they're a small market team. Even though they just clinched the playoffs. With that said, I just cannot, I saw that. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. That's insane. Would you like, yes.
Before we transfer away from college football, because that's all in my notes, I've got the 5 games, my games of the week, basically.
Okay.
It's going to be number 17, Texas Tech at number 18 or 16, Utah, number 22, Auburn at number 11, Oklahoma, number 9, Illinois at number 19, Indiana. Those were the 3 games that I say are going to be really good. And then I had to find at least 5 because I try to find 5 to 7 every time we do this. So I threw in these 2 because they were the only 2 other ones that I could really think would be fun. And that's Syracuse at Clemson because it's the Orange Bowl. And also it's just fun to see how far Clemson will fall because they're not ranked anymore, which, by the way, 0-2 team, 0-2, 1-2.
They're 1-2.
Okay. They have a better case than Notre Dame has right now.
Well, I mean, at least, and they won against a nobody team. Or did they actually? They beat Purdue. No, that's USC. They won against a nobody team. So I don't know if it's even a better.
They have a win. At least you guys don't have a fucking win.
That's true. I'm so sorry for you, Brian.
That's fine. We have Purdue this weekend, and if we lose to Purdue, you won't see this hat for a while. I will. I'm obviously going to never lose my fandom for them, but I'm not going to be coming on this podcast opening me up to get just fucking slaughtered.
I will say I thought it was funny that I think I saw a TikTok this week and it was like, when your football team loses but you're a basketball school, and I can imagine Purdue thinks the exact same way. They just lost to USC maybe last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? It's not a football school. So if that's your NIU this year, that's going to kill you. Actually, at the show, one of our friends, high school friends, had a show on Saturday night in Houston. And I had not seen the end of the game because I had to get to the show, and she'd been there already watching the game. And she looked at me and goes, I think Brian's dead. I was like, oh, what happened? She's like, last play of the game, basically. A&M won. And she's a UT fan. So this brings her no pleasure to say.
It's a fun triangle of friendship that we have, because we have a lot of common interests and a lot of and we've been friends for a very long time. But in the center of this triangle of friendship, there's this glaring hatred for Texas A&M that I would dare say has brought us closer as a friend, as a trio of friends. The only thing that's stronger than loving something together is hating something together.
Yes, that is true. What's the Jim Cornette phrase? I'll have to find it in a second. Hate is something, but I'll find it. Hate is I don't know. But yes, I hope for the best for your health's sake. Because you've been losing weight, you've been getting healthy, you've been lifting weights again. I think that can all be undone by one loss to Purdue. You can just be like, you know what? Yeah.
The amount of alcohol that would enter my system would be, I might have to tell my wife to have an ambulance on standby for alcohol poisoning. We do not condone binge drinking on this podcast, but we do sometimes encourage it.
If your team loses, sometimes it just is right. All right, let's move from one really bad loss for Brian this weekend to a bad loss for both of us, which was the Texans versus the Bucks. Brian, you were at the game. I want to, because I've seen videos of that Baker run on the last drive. Tell me about your experience that day.
Dude, as soon as I saw, like, we could not contain Baker. We crashed down on contained so often. Our ends and our outside linebackers that crashed did not contain at all. And I like Baker Mayfield a lot. I really do. I actually have a pretty soft spot for the Bucs in general, partially because I always felt like they were a butt of the joke for a while, and then also, I was a Brady fan, so Brady goes there and wins a Super Bowl, and it's and then I like Baker, so they've had and they had Jameis, so they've had quarterbacks that I've liked for a long time. So I've always kind of liked the Bucs. I wouldn't call myself a fan, but I've always kind of liked them. But
can I say real quickly, the redemption of Baker Mayfield is part of what makes me really like the Bucs. Baker Mayfield is what I think we've said it before. Baker Mayfield is what Johnny Manziel was supposed to be. And I love Baker. Truly, and I watched that game. I was like, I don't want them to lose, but like, I do fucking love Baker Mayfield. Mm-hmm. I love watching him play football. So I just want to butt in and say, I love Baker Mayfield too.
I agree with you, but as soon as he tucked it, and as soon as I saw there was no contain out there, and he just bolted, I was like, this is it. Now we lose this game. I said it out loud as that play happened. I said, we lose this game. No, it's over. And honestly, the time of possession was bad. Time of possession was real bad. They dominated that. I have something more scary to bring up to you, Jordan.
Tell me.
Are we sure that CJ Stroud and D'Amico Ryans are the solution? Because CJ looks like he's regressed for 2 years. Like his best play was his rookie year. And D'Amico has some fucking dumb end of game time management and timeout management that he is not used, done at all well.
He had a timeout left. At the end of this game.
That's what I'm saying. His clock management has been shit. I like him. He's I wouldn't say a legend, but he was a very good Houston player, and he's an amazing DC. Ah, man, I'm getting worried. It's early in both their careers, both head coaching and both quarterbacking careers, and it's not all on them, obviously. But I am really getting worried that we put all our eggs in this basket, being like, the saviors are finally here, and we look like shit.
I have a couple of things on that. One, on D'Amico Ryans, I feel like every coach gets one Nathaniel Hackett, which is to say you get one really bad clock fuck up, like Ben Johnson had, or like in-game management fuck up, like Ben Johnson had against the Vikings. But then you go, okay, clean it up. Whoever that guy on Pablo Torre finds out, who was president of the Marlins, has a podcast. And he was talking about how whenever you hire like a new manager, especially in baseball, you go through like kind of wackadoodle scenario, like in wackadoodle scenarios a little bit. For Ben Johnson, you have to imagine they had a talk beforehand about, hey, if it's almost, what are you going to do at the end of the game? But they may not have to talk about, hey, if the clock's almost at 2 minutes, how are you going to kick the ball? You get one of those fuck ups, and then you kind of go like, okay, I got to start playing for these things. To have one timeout left, and that would upset the Texans. Baker Mayfield said he was going to win that game. He won that game. To have one timeout left in that scenario plus like all the play calling going on, plus like, and I'm going to talk about this in a second, but I think there are a few things that happen that epitomizes where mentally the Texans are. But to have that one time out was egregious. Even if it was not going to help you, you got to try something out. You got to try at least.
Even if it's giving your defense a fucking breather.
Yeah. Because the defense could not stop Baker. Because the thing is, again, I say that like he's Johnny Manziel's, like what he's supposed to be. When the pocket collapses, he does figure it out. And like, you would imagine, you have like the Peyton Mannings of the world, or like, they're non-running quarterbacks. I don't know why the Peyton Manning was my first one. Like, you have the non-running quarterbacks. When the pocket collapses, they're kind of like, they're not going to do well. Like, oh shit, they're not going to be able to run. When the pocket collapses around Baker, it seems like he gets better. And that is the annoying part about Baker Mayfield, which I love, because I love Johnny Manziel. I hate A&M, love Johnny Manziel. That's the annoying part of him. Is he just figures it out. I liked him. He was fun to watch.
Oh, okay. Yeah, separate
Yeah.
artist from art. Got it.
Yeah. He was an annoying ass person. I hated Johnny Manziel, the person. Johnny Manziel, the college football player, rocks and still does. You look at his highlights. But you call him out and give him a second to say, like, guys, we gotta, okay. If the pocket breaks down, he's going to start running. We need someone to like spy or something like that. I'm sorry. We're going to have to bring one man forward. With all that said, like, what? Here are my points. A couple things that happened. I think it was Will Anderson after Baker Mayfield got a first down. Was winning celebrating. Baker had to be like, I got the first down.
Why he celebrated thinking he got a sack, and Baker's sitting there like, yeah, dude, I got like 3 yards.
I got 3 yards on you. And it's like, and then I will blame kind of him for the way the game went. CJ Gardner-Johnson, or as Baker Mayfield calls him, Chauncey. Whenever it was, you run by Baker, that was like 20 yards. And then CJ Gardner-Johnson stands here like, kind of celebrates over him, starts talking noise to him. And in that moment, it looked like Baker Mayfield was hurt. And I like Baker Mayfield. I do not wish pain on Baker Mayfield. It activated his superpower, which is he's going to get back up and shit talk all the way back. In some way you can blame him for the game. And that if, Baker Mayfield hadn't activated his superpower, he would have gone out. But those two, which it's like, dude, do not talk noise if he just gained 20 yards on you on a run. Do not do that. Like, you just can't do that. Like, there's no, like, if maybe tackle, maybe get up and be like, hey, I made a good tackle. Like the lady who tackled that thief on Twitter. Be like, get up and be like, hey, chopped her feet, stayed parallel to the line of scrimmage, didn't tuck her head, she got a little low. Great form right there. That's what we're talking about. Pee Wee coaches, watch that. But you can't celebrate in that case, especially if you're not the guy who made the tackle. Plus, at the end of the game, whenever the last 6 seconds, there's not even an attempt to lateral the ball. Not even an attempt. And I think that's relatively stupid. At the same time, like the lateral, at the same time, just try. Like, just give me a chance. They're winning by 1. Give me something. And nothing was tried. Nothing was tried. And you just go, mentally, I don't know where the Texans are right now, but they're not in a good place. I don't think CJ Stroud is also not a good leader. I will say that this season has really confirmed to me. Last season, I was like, it's a weird season. He's not a good leader. The offensive line sucks, and that is destroying him. But at the same time, it is your job. Again, I made the JJ McCarthy talk last week where he said, where else would you rather be? CJ Stroud is not giving that talk, and he will never give that talk. And so I don't trust him to go to his team and pump them up. Like, you listen to Jameis. Dude, Jameis's pregame speeches make 0 sense half the time, but they're powerful. They're powerful. Yeah. They're powerful. You love it. Go to D'Amico and be like, D'Amico, I hate the play calls. Let's get it together. I hate it. It's not working. I'm going to make this joke and you'll be like, shut the fuck up. We're tipping passes right now. I don't know if you've seen that. On shotgun formation.
Oh, dude, 87% or something like that?
Yeah, 83% of the time it's a pass, 70% of the time it's a run. So I like to say that I don't think offensive coordinator Lance McCullers Jr. is working out. And I think we should go back to playing baseball. That was a joke I was going to make, and you're going to be like, shut the fuck up. But yeah, no, he's not a leader. And mentally, this team does not seem like it's where it should be. After 3 years of good leadership. I don't know. I mean, quote unquote good leadership, better than the leadership we had, better than the leadership we've had for a long time. So there's a lot wrong with the way the Texans seem to be playing the game mentally.
I don't know if it has to do with. I think CJ is a great quarterback. I think he can be a great quarterback. Mm-hmm. I think he can be a great leader. There looks so little fire in him, man. He doesn't look like, and I know he's getting the shit kicked out of him because our offensive line is doo-doo batter, but he does not look like he wants to be there. It doesn't look like he's even like competitive. And okay. I still stand by the thing that's the most frustrating part about him is that he has an incredible talent to turn a 7-yard sack into a 17-yard sack. Sometimes you just got to throw it away, man. Sometimes you just don't have to be Superman.
Okay. I want to talk a little bit about the offensive line. There was a video posted about how, I think it was Nico Collins, and it was talking about how his first year, CJ Stroud's first year in the league, he would have thrown the ball before Nico even made to the hashes, before he even turned into the hashes. But this year, it's like he waited way too long. But if you look at the offensive line around him, it's not helping because he's not having to scan and like make his reads at the same time, be aware of what's going on around him at all times. So I want to point out something. So the PFF pass block rates.
No.
Okay. It's 60 is like average. Laken Tomlinson, 43 with 4 pressures. Okay. Not bad. Not bad. Not good. Got good. And we went from like not a good offensive line, maybe a worse.
20% below average. Okay. Great.
Dare Ogunbowale, a running back, but you got to block sometimes. Would you like to know his PFF grade?
7%.
1.4.
Oh my God.
With 3 pressures, 2 of which were sacks. It's not only his offensive line that isn't helping him, it's his running backs aren't helping him.
He is getting so badly, man.
Here's the thing.
No, our rookie is pretty good though. Hunt.
Yeah. But so no one's blocking for him. And I do think that's leading to like this mental breakdown where he's not comfortable throwing the ball like he did his first year because he just can't. Because he's too busy making sure he's not going to die. And that, he's too busy being like, dude, am I going to like break something in because they're like, dude, if you have, I said dude way too many times. If you have 3 like 6'2" to 6'4", 230 to 260, 250 pound guys running at you, I'd also want to make sure I knew where they were at all times because I don't want to get hurt. Now, I'm not a professional quarterback. At the same time, I understand fight or flight. And I imagine at some point your flight breaks in pretty hard. I'm going to run 20 yards away from these very large men running at me. So I'm not going to be able to throw the ball to my very open receiver or, to be open soon receiver. It's a lot of like that. Again, I'm actually not worried about the defense at all. I think defense does a good enough job. I think I looked it up. The Bucs have a possession 37-09. At some point, like whenever the last drive, on that last drive, and the Texans were only 22 minutes and 51 seconds. I mean, I thought
it was worse than that, but that's not horrible. It's
not horrible. It's not good, especially for defenses out there that long against a Baker Mayfield and a Bucs defense or offense that like is sneaky. And so on that last drive, it's like, of course they broke down. They're tired. Like, of course they broke down. I'm not worried about the defense. What I'm worried about is the offense, and that I'm worried about the fact that the offensive line and it turns out our running backs too can't block for shit. And that CJ Stroud looks like a broken man because again, he can't do his job because other people won't do theirs. So I don't think last week I picked against the Texans. I think I'm going to continue this trend until I see something different in this team. And I don't think it's changing. I think we're stuck where we are right now.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where we go from here, man. I think we're 0 for 2 on OCs. I think Slowick was bad. I think this guy's ass too. But he's 2 games in, I guess, and I guess it's just a wait and see mentality. But that never seems to work out for us.
It does not help. We are in the same division as Lord God Indiana Jones. And his cadre.
Dude, leverage call? First time since 2009? Wow. Dude. Good for the Colts. Yeah. Good for the Colts. Good for Daniel Jones. I'm not going to sit here and bitch and complain because we're 0-2, man. And I'm already like, I'm almost to the point where I'm like, cancel the season. Like, fuck this. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's not only Daniel Jones, Jonathan Taylor kind of rocks.
Oh, he's so good, dude.
Did you see that he had the fastest run by anyone in the NFL since 2020? It was like 22.3 miles per hour.
Flying. He's flying doing that.
It's time to have discussion. Does a kind of cringy Colts anthem or sports anthem make your team good?
How dare you say cringy?
Oh, yeah, that was on me. That was on me. Yeah, I'm not going to defend that. I can't defend that. I like the flow with Seth or whatever. But it's time to have that discussion.
He subscribed to our YouTube channel.
He did. I do love him for it. But like, it's time to have a discussion. Is Daniel Jones good at football?
Yes. Yeah, this just proves that the Giants organization is ass.
Yeah. I mean, what well, actually, Russell looked better this week, but I say Russell like I know him, but Daniel Jones, this season, I think it was maybe week
They
one.
haven't punted.
They haven't. Did you see the NFL released highlights of their punter?
It was just a blank tweet.
It was just him holding for field goals. That was the entire, and then him congratulating guys on the sides.
That's hilarious.
He's like a bench player in basketball. It's like his highlights include him congratulating guys as they come off the field. But dude, listen, everyone's talking about how the Chiefs are not good. The Bengals, Joe Burrow's out till December. They're like, it's the Bills or Ravens year. Have we discussed whether it's actually the Colts here and we're just getting this all wrong?
Yeah, I think the Colts are a top 3 team in the AFC right now.
I mean,
I think it's Bills, Ravens, Colts.
Given how they're playing, they may be the top team. I'm not saying that's the truth. I'm just saying, given how they're playing. Now, do I think this magic runs out at some point? I mean, it has to. History tells me Daniel Jones will at some point start making mistakes. at the same time, I don't know.
This week's a big thing. 3 weeks is a trend.
Yeah. What it's once is an accident, twice is a coincidence, and 3 times is a pattern.
Yeah. So 3 weeks is if they do it again this week, it's a trend.
Which I don't know if I like that.
I don't like it at all. I was worried about the Titans bringing in Cam Ward. I'm very worried about the Colts. Real quick on the Burrow thing before we get too far away. Is turf toe the least sounding serious injury of all time?
Oh, 100%. It's like it sounds like you just kind of whenever you're out in grass or on turf, like artificial turf, you're kind of rub it the wrong way. It's a little bit. It sounds like a rash, basically, like a bad rash you got. Not a bad rash.
No.
No.
Turf toe is bad.
Yeah, you don't want turf toe at all. It's like I can't think of another disease where it's like I don't know. Every time I hear TB, I'm like, oh, Tampa Bay. It's like no, actually tuberculosis.
Yeah, way worse.
Even worse somehow. I say that as I talk about how much I love Baker Mayfield. But yeah, Joe Burrow, Sweet King, rest in peace. I think Jaden Daniels is also out. It seems like quarterbacks are also going down at astonishing rates this season. So I said this is gonna be a wild and unpredictable season last week.
This is not what I wanted.
I did not I monkey pawed a little too close to the sun real quickly, which was the wild and unpredictability is every quarterback is going to get hurt at some point. Knock on wood. But at this point, it kind of seems like that's the trend.
Every podcast and every sports thing has said this. So it's not like I'm breaking any news or anything. If you're Cincinnati, how are you not trading for Jameis Winston? With those weapons, he would throw for 5,000 yards. Even though there's 2 games have passed, he would throw for 5,000 yards. Oh, why not?
Because they're too busy paying every single guy on offense who's not. They're just too busy paying other people. Could they even?
Pretty sure Jameis Winston's on a minimum contract.
Yeah, I was going to say, can they even meet the veteran minimum at this point? They said,
probably not.
It said, let's have a great offense and a bad defense. They switched around. Honestly, at this point, do you just say, well, season's over. Let's try again next year? I say that kind of as a joke, but also as a serious statement is at what point during the early season, if your team is bad enough, do you go, well, that's all for me, folks.
4 weeks.
We'll see you next season.
4 weeks minimum. 4 weeks minimum. Because you can, if you bounce back and go 2 for 2, 2-2, and they're 2-0 right now.
Yeah.
So, they've got. No, I don't think they pack it in. I think they try and get Burrow healthy as possible. He's getting a second opinion, so he might be back quicker than December, but I don't know. I've got 4 quick hitter notes.
Okay, I've got a couple.
Besides that, okay, go ahead.
I was going to say Cam Scattaboo. I love him. He's also going to have the most amazing CTE we've ever seen in the next 4 years.
Yes.
That guy leads with his head on everything he does.
The new Antonio Brown.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I want to say that about him yet. That's pretty evil to say.
No, just about the CTE part, not about all the disgusting, evil, horrible shit that he will do.
No, I mean even the CTE part where you're like, oh my God, that guy's brain is not there anymore. That's mush.
It is. Yeah, he's got nothing left.
I was going to say also say Ashton Giante or GNT. I've called him Giante for the past minute, but One runs like a god. It was against the Chargers where he did like those two quick turns. Awesome. Also doesn't block either. So he's going the Agumbawale route where it's like, blocking, not my thing. I'll run, but not block. So I just wanted to compare those two real quickly. What are your notes, Brian?
Lions major bounce back. Holy shit, they kicked the shit out of the Bears. That is how you bounce back. There's been some weird like, oh man, Campbell and Ben Johnson must fucking hate each other. No. I don't know. People just want to make a story out of nothing. They are in the same division, so there is, hint of, divisional rivalry, but I don't think Campbell and Ben Johnson hate each other per se. Chiefs and Chris Jones, we talked about this a little bit earlier. Chris Jones saying, "Man, you didn't even throw for 100 yards." He did. He threw for 101 yards. And then Jalen Hurts telling him to shut his ass up is hilarious. And Jalen Hurts is completely correct in this situation. We fucking won. This is your third loss into us in a row. Fuck you.
Just on that game real quickly. I think there were a few things that said, we can talk about the tush push, but I don't think there's room to talk about it. The Eagles line up offsides and they jump every time. There's a false start every time.
Yeah.
At the same time, like, dude, if the refs aren't like this, maybe is like the antithesis of a good opinion, but like, if the refs aren't going to call it and like they know that it's there, at what point you just go, fuck it, we're just going to do it every time. Like, you need a ref like right there. Also, kind of shows that
they're going to be watching for it from now on, though.
Yeah.
It was too egregious.
Yeah. Well, and also I want to say that kind of showed with like the Eagles dominance, but it's kind of like a trend where like you can kind of get away with things for only so long. The second one was when Travis Kelce bobbled the ball and gave out for an interception, and then immediately he threw up his hands saying, "Where's my flag?" I was like, that's where the Chiefs have been for so long. They're so used to being dominant. They're so used to being the team that like gets whatever they want, that even a play that egregiously is his fault, he tries to look for a flag. Also, I don't know if you've seen I think it's Barbecue Chiefs on Twitter trying to make up for like trying to spend the game. He's like posting, I don't know if it's he, but like I'm gonna ask whoever they are, was posting pictures of Brittany Mahomes and Patrick Mahomes with their kids. Like, actually, he already won. And then picture of Travis and Taylor. It's like he already won. It's like, dog, you did lose though. Like, your team does suck right now. I hate to tell you, it's not a good look for you. And there's like other things like when they beat the Eagles before, like the Kansas City Chiefs tweeted out like, we held the Eagles to this many yards, which is the least in this. It's like, dog, you still lost though. I don't really give a shit.
You lost. Who gives a shit?
You got the L no matter what.
I got two more quick ones. One, we'll have Jake Browning versus Carson Wentz this weekend.
I'm excited.
Bengals versus Vikings. I am very excited for that. I think it's going to be the Maction of the NFL. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. It's going to be fun. Yeah. Also, Jake Browning is not as bad as people are saying. Jake Browning's fine. He's like the perfect backup. He'll win you some games, but he'll lose you some games too.
And that's what you want.
And then backup. My final note, and this is a big one. My final note is I am done with unders. I am fucking done with unders this year. For week 1, I took Jets Steelers under 38.5. 32-31 or 33-32 was the final score. This past weekend, I took Giants Cowboys under 44.5. 37-40. Fuck unders. I'm done with them. Get the hell out of here. So that's all. That's all. I didn't take a single under this. I didn't take a single under this upcoming weekend. But before we get to that, we need to do our pick'em.
Quickly, I want to make. Well, I'll do one more. I have no on football, but it's college football that I forgot to talk about. Let's do pick'em real quickly. I went 10-6 last week, and I'm 22-10 on the season.
I need to. I wrote it down what I was, but I didn't write exactly what I have. I'm 17-15.
Okay.
That's what I am. I'm 17-15, but okay. I kept week 1 there, but I accidentally deleted week 2. So I've got week 3. I'm going to have to go back and listen and write it all down, but I'm 17-15. Started off Thursday Night Football, Dolphins, Bills.
The Dolphins are going to die.
Bills. Bengals, Vikings. Bengals. Texans, Jaguars.
Yeah,
Jaguars. I don't trust this team at all right now, man. Colts, Titans.
Colts.
Colts. Raiders at Commanders.
Commanders. Huh?
Commanders. Rams at Eagles.
Eagles.
I'm going Rams. Falcons at Panthers.
Falcons.
Falcons. Steelers at Patriots.
Patriots. And I have a point on this as well.
Go ahead.
I'll talk about it later. Okay.
Packers at Browns.
Packers. Huh?
Packers. Jets at Buccaneers.
Bucks. Huh?
Bucks. Broncos at Chargers.
Chargers.
Chargers. I'll go Broncos. We'll throw some spice of life on that.
No, wait. I have to say Broncos. I forgot.
Okay, no. Okay, you can. I'll take Chargers.
Sorry, I forgot. I have to say Broncos. My bad.
All right. You got the Broncos. Saints at Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Cowboys at Bears.
I'm gonna say Bears. I don't know why I'm saying Bears.
Oh, wow. I also said Bears. Cardinals at 49ers.
49ers.
Cardinals. Chiefs at Giants.
Chiefs, actually.
Chiefs, same. I listen. You know what? Nah, fuck it. We roll with it. I'm going Giants.
Okay.
They just put up 40, man. Like, who knows?
Yeah.
And then I didn't realize we had this good of a Monday night treat coming up. Lions Ravens.
Yeah. I've gone back and forth in this game. I almost want to just say pick the opposite of you, but I'll say it. I'm just going to go Ravens. I'm going to go Ravens.
I have Ravens as well, but I got the fuck it. Fuck it.
I'll do Lions.
Okay. You want Lions? Because this was a game I looked at and I said I should just pick opposite whatever Jordan picks because this game is awesome and I'm just so excited for it and I can see either one of these teams winning.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, either team can win right now. And so I was kind of hoping, I was like, well, maybe I'll just go with the opposite of what Brian says. But I know I go first usually, so I was like, fuck it, who should I pick? But
there have been a couple times, by the way, in our pick'em that I have I've written down opposite because I look at it, I'm like, I don't know, but I want to make this competitive, so I'm just going to take I'm going to let Jordan make the decision.
I don't know if that's a good plan. I mean, I know I have 22-10, but I don't know if that's good. Who knows if that'll continue. Sometimes I just get lucky for the first couple weeks.
Do you want to do your note first, or do you want me to do bets real quick?
I have two notes. One on college football, one on NFL. One, which is, do the Patriots now have their own Taylor Swift? Which is Cardi B is now pregnant with Stephon Diggs' baby.
Right.
So are they going to see the bump? I mean, other than the baby bump, are they going to see the bump that the Chiefs had whenever? Are there going to be Cardi B fans now learning zone defense? Are there?
No.
Are they going to look? They're going to learn the dime package now. Now you're going to see I think I saw there was a tweet like a Taylor Swift fan talking about like receivers on the Chiefs and like there's their play and their coverage. And I was like, dude, 2 years ago they didn't know what the field goal was, and now like they're breaking down film. Are we going to see Cardi B? Yeah, are we going to see Cardi B fans breaking down film? And maybe does that mean the Patriots are about to win the AFC? I don't know, but that'd be funny too. If you're Warby Parker, do you get really mad every time UT plays? Because you clearly wasted your money on a horrible advertisement campaign of Arch Manning and Cooper Manning. Cooper Manning, whatever. He's finally in the spotlight after all these years. Arch Manning, not only can he not throw the ball, he can't read a defense. And again, if I'm a consumer, which I am, of glasses, as we can see, I go like, their spokesperson can't see. And the glasses clearly aren't helping. So maybe not go with Warby Parker. I can only imagine the advertising or the marketing department's like, dude, we got to find a new spot, new guy to sponsor. Like, give me Carson Beck. Sorry, I couldn't remember his name for a second. Give me Carson Beck. I'll take Carson Beck over Arch Manning, which
he doesn't have a face for advertisement.
I mean, he has
that was mean. I'm ugly too. I shouldn't say that.
No, you gotta say Chuck.
Whatever. Hey, my girl didn't leave me though. So.
Yeah. Ooh, that hurts. That's hard. That's hard. That might be clipped too.
No. I will get shit on. They beat us this year, man. They beat. It was bad.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He beat me already. All right. That's why I'm aggressive. I don't think he's ugly. I don't think he's a bad guy. It's just he hurt me this year. Okay.
If we're not clapping this, fuck it. He beat me. I mean, go to a Chris Brown concert. That was not good. I may have to even cut that. I don't know.
No, you brought that up. There used to be a wide receiver on Notre Dame that my brother's favorite thing to say whenever he would get open was Chris Brown beats defenses.
If the name's the same, you gotta play the game.
I mean, Christian Gray, right? Like that's just
Christian Gray. It's right there.
I can't believe you were like, yeah, whoever number 6 is. I was like, that's that motherfucker. I hate him. He's so talented is the problem.
Not when it comes to that game.
No,
he cannot.
No.
Okay, yeah. Do your thing, and then I have a couple more, just quick notes, real quickly, and then we can end because it's an hour and 10 minutes. A couple notes, and then programming note for the future.
All right. All right. Jumping over to my side of things. I'm not doing well this season. I'm 14-22-1. And after marking out my slate for this week, I took a shit ton of favorites, and I'm scared about that. Starting off on Thursday Night Football, Bills -11. Then jumping to Sunday, Falcons -5, Bengals Vikings over 41.5, Packers -6.5, Jaguars -1.5, Colts -4, Raiders Commander over 44, Rams +3.5, Jets Buccaneers over 44.5, Steelers -2.5, Broncos +3, Seahawks -7, 49ers -2, Cowboys Bears over 51, Chiefs -6, Lions +5, Lions Ravens over 52.5. Yeah, no unders because, like I said, between the Jets Steelers game from week 1 and Cowboys Giants game from week 2, I'm done with overs. I gave both those over out, and those were both poo-poo stinkers.
Well, I am excited to see if the over continues. Okay, couple last notes. One of which I was going to talk about rally or rally, but I don't think we have time. But I was going to say, I'll see if I can find the number real quickly. Something like the Astros have in total had guys out for 2,385 days this season, and it's not helping. I don't know if there's Jordan Alvarez news yet, but I watched that ankle sprain and I said, "Oh my god, that does not."
It's not as serious. It's not a break. There's no break. They announced that.
Okay.
I do have Astros IL news though.
Okay.
Astros have now tied the 2019 Yankees for the most players to take IL stints at 29, which means we're one IL stint away from being the most injured team of all time. I hate everything. Life is pain.
That's insane. So there's got to be talk about the Astros medical staff. I mean, I know we've talked about it before, and like everyone has, but like, what's going on?
So cheeks, bro.
Did Jeff Bagwell, because he hates computers, he look at like doctors and be like, I like that doctor. He knows what he's doing. It's like he's got
the bone through it. It's a literal witch doctor. He's like, oh,
like I know that guy knows what he's talking about.
Doctor.
That's a man's doctor right there. I can just feel it. He doesn't have an ugly girlfriend, so I understand. I think he's going to be good at this role. It's like, oh, he's like, yeah, it looks fine to me. It's like his ankle's broken. It does not look fine to me.
What's the Colin Cowherd thing? If your quarterback wears a backwards hat, they're not a real quarterback. Some shit. Fucking stupid shit analytics like that. And then Stafford and Baker Mayfield both wear backwards hats. And it's just like, well, Stafford's a bona fide Hall of Famer, and Baker Mayfield is one of the most electric quarterbacks in the NFL right now. So fuck you, Colin.
I did have one more stat, which was, and this is from the Astros locker on Twitter. Hunter Brown has pitched in the 6th inning or later in every start for the last 2 months, averaging 6th and a 3rd inning, and with a 1.61 ERA. He's also pitched into the 7th or later in 6 of those 8, throwing 62% strikes and walking 2.7 batters per 9 innings. Is Hunter Brown our ace of the future? And I say yes.
Oh, 100% yes. Yeah, and you know who our number 2 is? Jason Alexander. Yeah, because that man is 5-0 in the last or 6-0 in the past 6 starts. Yeah. Framber, go fuck yourself. Christian Javier, you're coming off an injury. Luis Garcia, you're coming off an injury. I'm done with Framber. Also, we're not in first place anymore, so.
Yeah, well, I mean, it also helps when your rivals, your opponents are a 10-0 run in the last 10 games also have Etsy witches on their side. So, and also like the guy he should win AL MVP for the record. There is no world where he should not win AL MVP. It's like his OPS plus, and this is the thing, I love stats. It's like his OPS plus is actually 180 lower than Aaron Judge, and if he was just average, it's like shut the fuck up. He's a catcher. He's a switch hitting catcher. One of the most important players on the field, if not the most important player on the field when it comes to setting up the defense and also setting up the offense. And then you have, listen, I like Aaron Judge as a person. He's a 3 true outcomes guy and will always be a 3 true outcomes guy. And then, like, he's also being overshadowed by Shohei Ohtani, who's doing 50-50, which, again, amazing. I love that for him. But does not help when your opponent is a witchcraft-infused MVP winning, potentially winning team that's on a 10-0 run. I don't love where this is at. I not check the wild card race because I don't want to. Mostly
We're borderline.
Borderline, but
there's a great chance we don't make the playoffs this year.
Yeah. Right at the borderline is where I'm going to wait for you, and I don't want to wait for you, which that is the playoffs. I want to be in the playoffs. But yeah, no, I'm not happy about that. I do have one more note in general, which is Adam Silver, who I don't know if it was last week after he wrapped. He said, well, if you can't afford to watch the NBA, just watch the highlights, which.
Okay. He beat Manfred out.
Yeah,
he surpassed Manfred for person that gives a shit about their sport viewership the least. Because what an insane thing to say is that we're a highlight league.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you? Every single major sponsor that saw that should go, what the fuck? What do you mean?
Why are we advertising with you at all if you're just going to tell people to watch the highlights? Well, advertise on your highlights on your official NBA account.
Crazy, bro. What a crazy thing to say.
I say Rob Manfred hates you and doesn't want you to watch baseball. I've never heard him actively put down the game of baseball. Like, it's never happened. I don't think it will ever happen. Because, like, at least he understands the optics behind it. He may not want you to watch a Giants game ever if you're on the East Coast or really anywhere else other than San Francisco. At the same time, I've never heard him actively say, don't watch the game. He will make sure you can't, but he will never say, don't watch it. Whereas Adam Silver is now saying, and again, this is the problem with the NBA. It's like the NBA regular season just doesn't matter. And it's not because it doesn't matter. It's because we've been told by the players, by the media, and now by the commissioner himself that the NBA does not matter in the regular season. You can watch us on the postseason. And that's really just the finals. Just really watch the finals. Also, we don't care about the finals. I'm Silver. We don't care about the finals. There's no pomp and circumstance. When you win, we'll just shake hands and go eat your apples and mozzarella sticks, or take your oranges and oranges and oranges and Gatorade at the end. Like, it just makes zero sense. And I'm going to say something I never thought I'd say. Of the big three sports, not including hockey, because hockey's in its own league, is Roger Goodell the best commissioner? And the answer, like, objectively is yes. And I hate,
football has its problems.
Yeah.
Football has its problems with some of the networking and streaming and games that you're going to need to watch everything. But they're not telling you to go fuck yourself.
Roger Goodell will also never put down for all the hate I give this man for just existing, which there's a lot to give.
All deserved as well.
All deserved. A lot to give. All deserved. Couldn't be a worse guy. I've never seen him do something that puts down the game of football. Just never. He does seem to actually care about the game of football. And think of the Super Bowl. I understand it's only one game, and so it's different than the NBA Finals with the World Series. Which is the World Series logo this year kind of rocks. It's one of the better ones we had in a long time. It's not as minimalist. It feels like a Starbucks cafe in the 2000s now. I feel like I'm going backwards. Where's my Nora Jones CD? But Roger Goodell will actually actively again. There are problems with the way he leads. Problems with his media rights. Problems with how he treats players. Problems with the fact that he sends people to Brazil, and it's that's a punishment. At the same time, that man is going to make sure you watch every single game, even if it's on Amazon, even if it's on the NFL Network, which doesn't exist anymore, even if he does whatever he can do, he will do. And Adam Silver's yeah, you can watch the games if you want. It's your fault for being poor, by the way. That's why you can't watch. It's your fault for being poor. Have you thought about not being poor? Also, would you like to buy a ticket to an NBA game, which I know is set by the owners, but it's there's no reason for it to be that much. At least baseball better, in NFL not better, but I don't know, but I hate to say it. Adam Silver is a corporate shill, which actually surprisingly I don't feel like this is a corporate shill move, but he is a corporate shill who I've never liked. Since the Donald Sterling, good. Since then, it seems like every decision he's made has been a bad decision. Roger Goodell will never insult the game of football, and that's really fucking annoying. That I sit here and tell you, I'm thankful Roger Goodell's in charge of football, and
it's insane.
I will never, I mean, if I thought I'd kill myself if I said that before. I have to, can't cut that. But I don't know. That's my last note, Brian. Do you
Well,
have
we have
anything
one
else?
last programming note.
Oh, yes. So we are changing the way we're doing this because it's an hour and 20 minutes, and that just feels wrong for this. And we've spent so much time talking about football. We've decided from now on we are going to record on Monday before the Monday night game, do a pod, release it Tuesday, and then release on Friday as well. So we will have 2 podcasts a week, probably about 30 minutes, kind of giving here's the breakdown.
30 to 45.
30 to 45. Here's a breakdown of the thing that happened this week. Football, and then here's our Friday podcast. Here's predictions. Talk about this week on other sports. So
yeah, Monday's just going to be a recap show, and obviously both shows will lead with whatever news. So it'll be in my vision, and Jordan and I will confirm this. I shouldn't be doing this live on the podcast. In my vision, it's we do the intro joke, we jump into whatever news that has been broken over the past 48 hours, whatever sports news it is. Then we talk about college, then we talk about the NFL, we talk about any quick notes at the end, like a quick hitter note, Astros or whatever, like other big stories. And then, but we don't give any of the predictions, the bets, the talk about the future stuff. We just talk about the stuff in the past on Mondays. It's a recap show, and then news and recap show. And then on Friday, it is a picks, all hit on all the major stories for the week, a little bit more in depth, and more of the niche stories. The Premier League as well preview, because they primarily play on weekends, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so that could also be part of that could be part of the recap too. It's a recap show on Monday, and it's a future show on Wednesday Friday instead of combining the two.
Yeah, perfect. And I don't know if you want to pick a Premier League team at this point. We can do that off camera.
That sounds like we can figure that out. When does Premier League start?
It started in August. So.
All right.
Wait, you want to do some mining off screen, and we can do that afterwards because we're at an hour and 20 minutes and hour and 21.
I was just going to go spin a wheel real quick and wasn't going to show it. But all right, we'll figure it out next time. Next week, I'll pick a team.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much for listening. I know this has kind of gone over. Appreciate you. Please like, subscribe, comment, rate, whatever you can do, whenever you're listening to. Brian, where can the people find you? I totally forgot to do that.
You can find me across all social medias at Auric Polaris, AURICPOLARIS. Fucked it up. Especially at twitch.tv/Auric Polaris. Going to be streaming some more Elden Ring this week. Maybe some Pico Park 2 at the weekend. Not sure quite yet. Jordan, where can the people find you?
Join us on Twitter, and then Moonstamp Sports across all platforms. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you guys next Tuesday.
Peace and love.